When the Nintendo Classic Edition was released, it became a smash hit for Nintendo, and it left fans wondering if other Nintendo consoles would get the mini treatment. Well, it's not even 1 year later and our prayers have been answered with the Super Nintendo Classic Edition. With 21 built-in games and HD output, let's take this tiny console for a spin and see what it can do. Inside this small box hides an even smaller Super Nintendo. I thought I wouldn't be surprised with its tiny stature after seeing the NES Mini, but I was still taken back by how small it really is. The replica looks identical to the original, even more so than the NES version, since there is this plastic that covers the controller ports with a faux SNES style controller port. The eject button and the cartridge slot obviously don't work, but the power and reset buttons move and feel authentic. Also included are an HDMI cable, power cable, and not one but two controllers. Instead of selling a second controller separately, Nintendo has seemed to wise up. Wait a second, scratch that. While the controller looks, feels, and responds like the original, it has the same problem that I had with the NES Mini, the length of the damn wire. It's slightly longer, but come on Nintendo, you gotta give us more than this. I've been told the reason the controller is so short is to keep you close to the console, so you can hit reset easily, which takes you to the main menu. That makes sense, but for an authentic SNES experience, you would have to get up from your seat whenever you wanted to change games. So I'd rather take that than being tethered to the console. I also think it's a missed opportunity by Nintendo to listen to their fans and include a more sensible solution, like including a button combination to reset. Starting the SNES takes you right to the main menu. Here you can choose from a list of 21 different games, 8 of which have a 2-player mode. Now I know 21 doesn't sound like too many games, but this is a clear situation of quality over quantity. And when you factor in how many hours each game could take to play through, you have much more value than when compared to the NES Mini. The lineup is all killer, no filler. The best of the best. The cream of the crop. Oh yeah! Zelda, Mario, Donkey Kong, Metroid, Kirby, Star Fox, they are all here. Even third-party franchises like Castlevania, Street Fighter, and Final Fantasy. I do wish that they had included a few more games, like Chrono Trigger and Turtles in Time, but what you have here is nothing to scoff at, as many of these games are arguably the best in their respective franchises. There are only 2 games on the SNES Mini that I don't already own on cartridge, and that's Earthbound, which I can now finally play, and a game that has never been officially released, Star Fox 2. This game was nearly ready for release back in 1995, but it never saw the light of day, since Nintendo wanted to focus their 3D efforts on the N64. Star Fox 2 is a sweet bonus for an already great package, and it's interesting to finally see an official release 20 years later. When it comes to playing these games, they feel as though you are playing on actual hardware. The controllers feel amazing, and the emulation was spot on. I could not detect any input lag while playing, though I think some of the games are a little too close to the original. Games like Super Ghosts and Goblins have so much slowdown when playing the original, and it's even present here on the SNES Classic. I think that's something that should have been addressed to make for a more smoother gameplay experience. The SNES Mini takes some of the best pixel art games ever and brings them into HD. Games like Secret of Mana, Super Metroid, and Yoshi's Island look unbelievable. Their graphics can even put new games to shame. But ironically, games that tried to push the SNES to its limits at the time, like Donkey Kong Country and Star Fox, look real rough, and the years have not been kind. What can help these games look a bit better is using the Scanline Filter from the included picture options. Some games look better with the added scan lines to hide flaws, but others look better without it in the standard 4:3 setting. You can also put a variety of different frames over the black bars on the sides to add some flair. I find most of the frames look pretty awful, and even downright distracting as I'm playing. I much prefer having the black bars, but it's always nice to have options. The ability to save 4 slots per game has returned, but now not only can you save, you can scrub through a save file and choose exactly at what point you'd like to start at. The console records a few minutes or more depending on the game, and you can drop into your save file at a specific time. This is an awesome feature, because if you happen to forget to save before you die, then you can slide back to a previous point before the game over and correct mistakes. Another one of my gripes from the NES Mini has again reared its ugly head. Instead of including the game manuals on the console, you get the dreaded QR code that will send you to a website with the manuals. It's disappointing not having them on the console, because if they were present, I would actually take the time to look through and read them. but I don't want to have to go back and forth from looking at my phone or computer to the console as I'm trying to play. And that's a shame because the 16-bit era had some of the most detailed manuals of any generation. If you've never played these games before, or even if you have many of the games already like me, the SNES Classic makes it easy to simply plug and play some of the greatest games ever made. And the cute packaging is just icing on the cake. The Super Nintendo Classic Edition doesn't have many major improvements over the NES version, the big differences being the scrub function and the frames. I would like to see more games, game manuals on the console itself, and of course a longer controller cord. But the Super Nintendo Classic still offers an amazing value for just $80. The quality and depth of these games far and away surpasses that of the NES version, and with the HD visuals, many of these games could pass as new releases in 2017. So should you buy an SNES Classic? The answer is a definitive yes. Let me know what you guys think about the SNES Mini down in the comments below, and if you could find one. Nintendo has said they'll have a more plentiful stock, so I hope everyone who wants one can find one easily. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time, and remember, it's all fun and games. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked that video, why not check out my new video series, Dom's Difficulty Scale, where me and two guests rate games on their difficulty. And if you like It's All Fun and Games, make sure to subscribe. Thanks again.